past hurt of her broken family, she felt a lull, and felt her daydream taking her away from the distant voice of Lindsay, saying, "Oh my, look, Jeff! I've never seen black and white spotted cows before, have you?" She turns on the radio, and Anna could hear an old song her mom loved to sing when she was organizing everything. About a minute went by before the most deafening horn, the screaming tires, the shattered glass, a loud crunch of metal on metal as the vehicle collided with something, and then silence. She didn't know what to do. She dropped her phone and didn't know whether to scream or cry. How could anyone understand? She looked to the washroom and thought of vomiting to relieve her sickness inside, her emotions, the tears falling down her face. "What can I do? Oh my God, what can I do?" she kept repeating. "Please help me, please," she yelled. The bus driver instantly took action and moved his vehicle to a turnout for trucks. Slowly the bus driver made his way to the girl in the back, who was crying and looked frantic everywhere. "Honey, I'm the bus driver. What can I do? Is it medical?" Everyone was looking, and she felt like she was standing on a stage naked. So many eyes. What could she say? So she began and explained. The bus driver and everyone listened intently to her story. When she was finished, the bus driver asked, "Did you call the number back and see if they answer?" She felt a little foolish that the whole thought hadn't occurred, and the tears slowly stopped as her logic took over. She reached for the phone and scrolled throughout the listings, trying to find the number that had at least 3 or 4 hours of time wasted, which she didn't care since her parents were busy buying her love anyway. She looked and it didn't exist. She hit redial, and only her father's number from 8 hours ago and nothing more. It was like it never existed. The bus driver seen the look of confusion, and from years of driving, he simply chalked it up to a nightmare that she didn't realize she had fallen asleep. "Honey, you probably drifted off, and you dreamed it all. I've seen it 100 times. Everybody went back to their own things. She didn't know what to say. It was so real. It was. She was embarrassed and angry, but she let it go. She felt like she was being patronized and hated it. Feeling stupid, she let it go and dwelled on it, wondering how everything, all the story, even seemed so real. She drifted. An hour passed, and she couldn't get this feeling out of her. She reached for the phone, and instantly it came to life. With a buzz and a hum and a watered echo effect, she could hear Lindsay and Jeff. They were okay! She was so excited she almost yelled, and all those around her heard was a high-pierced muffled screech, and she listened. "How's your sister?" she hears the male voice. "Oh, she's fine, but her face is sore from the words start to break up and get jumbled. Her ass and her stomach jumbles into slow words, like by the time Lindsay says her words, they are being slowed down like a tape recorder or an old record player." "What the hell?" shouted Anna, grabbing a lot of attention in the back. She heard loudly whispered, "Some manners." She listened more intently and was hearing the same conversation. She was sure of it. This wasn't about the same things. This was the exact same conversation. This time, she wouldn't just listen. She would take action. And she did. "Jeff!" she said loudly. Jeff, in the middle of the conversation, said, "Hello?" Anna didn't know what to say. What could she say without sounding insane? "Hi, Jeff. How are you and Lindsay?" she blurted. "Good, we're good. How long have you been there? I didn't even hear it ring." "Who's this?" asked Jeff. "Hi, I'm Anna. I have no idea how I could even begin to start this conversation." "What?" says Jeff. Is something wrong? Who is this?" So Anna began explaining, in the best manner if that's possible, to Jeff what she had heard in the conversations, to try and get to the point of what she had heard without sounding crazy. And 5 minutes in, when she was talking about the impending accident and describing the collision, the horrible sound that was, she realized she had heard a dial tone. They had hung up. Anna had no idea what to do. She tried redialing and nothing. As time went by, and her frustrations about something she had absolutely no control over reminded her again of her own family. The phone hummed and buzzed, and then she heard, "I'm sorry, Lindsay. I know this has been the longest we have been screaming at each other constantly. I'm sorry for whatever caused this anger between us. We used to be so good together. I know we seemed to be fighting over stupid things in the end. Do you remember our last fight before we lost the baby? What first started it?" Anna could hear them and remembered the time was not far off from that horrible collision. Maybe Lindsay would listen where Jeff wouldn't. "Lindsay," she said loudly. "What the? Who is this?" She could hear Jeff ask, "Who is it? What the hell is wrong with that phone?" Anna said, "It's me again. Please, don't hang up." "You don't sound very old. Why are you calling people and listening in? Are you some kind of hacker with issues, some weirdo?" asked Lindsay. Anna could hear her getting upset and frustrated and knew she was going to lose the call. And she could feel the time drawing closer, not understanding any of this. What was happening? It all made no sense. So she just lived in the moment and tried to figure it out as she went. "Please, Lindsay, don't hang up. Why shouldn't I? Who the hell is this?" Anna says, "Please, there's something wrong with your car. I'm sure of it. Please listen to me." She keeps repeating. She knew she was going to lose the connection, so she said, "I need to speak to Jeff. Please, it's an emergency." Losing interest and wanting to hang up, she pulled the earpiece from her ear, slammed it into Jeff's hand. "Things will never change. You're an asshole. Who is she?" Jeff, very angry now, seeing the damage occurred from this crazy girl who knows way too much about them, and stuffs the earpiece into his ear, ready to yell his issues. At this time, Anna heard Lindsay turn on the radio, hearing Last Kiss clearly playing, and knew her time was up, and she had only one thought left. She said aloud, "Please, stop the car. I know you don't believe me, but believe your wife. You love Lindsay, and the baby she carries. Lindsay is pregnant with your baby. Please!" The phone went dead. Every eye on the bus was turned on her, even the face of the annoyed bus driver paying attention to the mirror from Anna's yells across the phone. Jeff turned and looked to Lindsay's eyes, and in an instant he could see she had heard, and her eyes confirmed the truth, and everything he knew was here and now. Both his feet crippled to break down to the floor, like everything he ever knew in his life existed depended on it. They came to a screeching stop at an intersection, sliding sideways, separated by trees on both sides. They never would have seen the bus. It would have been too late. They all heard the horn, so deafening and instantly inflamed Anna's memory, an overwhelming horror before the crash of the call earlier today. As the bus flew by, both Lindsay and Jeff glimpsed what they thought was a tall girl staring out her window, holding a phone and wearing pink glasses with ponytails that stuck upwards a little. You couldn't miss the tall girl in the window as the bus slowed and then continued from its very near tragedy. They never got to thank the strange girl who made the future call, but their little girl who passed away, her name was Anna. Well, I hope you enjoyed, my friends. I've never, I'm just playing around, and I hope it'll, throw away a little bit of time and entertainment and enjoyment and a little bit of fun. Too much seriousness in the world. God bless you all. Hug all your family.